Hey, everybody. Shalom. Welcome to another episode of Your Power Weapon on urbansmartnetwork.com. We are here every Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time. So it's out here on the West Coast. And 10 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. And all y'all in the middle, you know what to do. Tonight's episode is dealing with the Jesse Smollett case. Y'all heard about the Jesse Smollett case? Any of y'all heard about the Jesse Smollett case? Well, it happened. And we want to talk about the Jesse Smollett case's effect on the struggle of American black citizens, the descendants of chattel slaves. What is the effect of what he pulled off? How does that affect our legacy and our heritage as a people? And what do you suppose that everybody who's non-black that was watching all this, what are they saying behind closed doors? I want to speculate a little bit tonight with our contributors. Tonight we have Ken Hardeen, our co-host. We have Ken White, and we might just pick up Emory McClendon rather, out of Indiana. But we'll see in a minute. But I want to welcome all of you new viewers. I've been putting the word out there. We're putting the word out there to come over here to the only, how should I say this? Because we want to try to avoid, well, I'll say it, black owned and operated YouTube platform. See, here on Urban Smart Network, unlike them other guys over there, you can say anything you want to say as long as you ain't talking violence and insurrection and, hurting children, all those kind of things. Hey, it's America, baby. Our people here at Urban Smart Network believes in the First Amendment. So all of y'all who are just joining us, keep on coming. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your associates on the job, especially black folks. Black folks always hollering, we ain't got nothing, we got something now. All we got to do is all of us work together and build on it. So, and if you're not black, you're still welcome here. Just because black owned, we want to show real liberty. So everybody is welcome here. One final thing in that, we have a saying out here in Venice Beach. All lives matter in America because the matter is black lives. Do your history and you'll find out what that means. Now, before we go too far, though, I want to remind you also to friend us on Facebook, Twitter, any social media that you have, you put it out there, okay? And this broadcast is based on the 14th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, the Emancipation Proclamation. This is all about the super citizenship of black citizens, the descendants of chattel slaves. We have with us tonight Keith Hardeen. Keith, why don't you come on for a minute and talk to us, brother? How you doing? Especially we want to, later on in the broadcast, we want to talk with you about the LA Unified School District and the COVID matter, because you are right there. Talk to us for a minute, Keith. What's going on, brother? Mute. Can't hear you. Hey, how you? Well, folks, until we get Keith's sound back on, let me just say to you in the process, go to the 14th Amendment.us, the 14th Amendment.us to learn more about this super power citizenship that you have. And also you can visit mattersofblacklives.com. mattersofblacklives.com. Hey, why don't we go until Keith can get his act together over there? Why don't we go and talk with Ken, the unicorn, Southside unicorn? Hey, Ken, you here? Talk to us, brother. What's going on, man?
Hey. Season greetings. Merry Christmas. Shalom to everybody out there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, unicorn.
I was hoping to hear from my brother Keith. I'm sure we'll be getting back to him in just a moment.
Yeah.
Hey, it's going pretty good. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of I guess you would say merriment. If you look on my page, I'm trying to highlight as many of our candidates running for office. that I can that are hosting fashion shows, Christmas parties, things of that event. Uh, we got to show support to these people. It's not like we all have a George Soros in our pocket.
Huh.
We're the Minuteman Patriot types. So
Huh.
each and every last one of us has got to give up like $5. Give up $5 and go show some support for our candidates so that 2022 is our year.
So what's this website, brother, where people can go and get that information from you?
That's
Tell us
right.
about
You can come to www.thesouthsideunicornshow.com. That's www.thesouthsideunicornshow.com. And there you'll find my swag for sale. You'll find information on our candidates and things like that.
Hold up, hold
Uh,
up, hold up, hold up. Find your what? Your swag.
swag. Yeah.
Hey, y'all hear that? Hey, it's swag. That's right. I like that. That's a nice word. Thank you. But
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted your
Oh no, that's okay. I see on the screen that our brother Keith is back. I want to hear what my brother's got to say about them kids in the schools.
I don't
If
know
that's
if
not
you can
premature.
hear me. Can you hear me?
Now we hear you, sir. Welcome back.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say I got an email today, and so did my colleagues at school, and the email was saying that they want to. I guess Tuesday there's going to be some type of meeting with the school board and the public, and they want to postpone the vaccine mandate until September.
September.
So yeah, that's what they want to do.
Wait. September or January?
September.
September
January.
what? 2022?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
What is going on, brother?
Well, they want to talk about it they're going to have a discussion about it. I don't know.
Do
I don't
they
know which.
expect the COVID to be here in 2022?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh.
That shows how political this whole thing is, which is why I'm against it. I wish that because you know what they're telling us, if we
What?
reach 85%
Yeah.
vaccination,
Yeah.
85% in our school, we could take our mask off outside.
Oh my
Still have to
God.
wear it inside, but we could take it off outside. This whole thing is political. There's no science to any of this. But at least I'm pleased with the fact that we could take our mask off outside.
Yay.
Yay! Yeah, right.
Wait, Keith, hold on. No, okay, folks. You listen to us. You're watching us from around the country, perhaps around the world. Whenever you get this, Keith works for the Los Angeles Unified School District, the second largest school district in America, located in Los Angeles County in the city of Los Angeles, the one of the top 3 or 4 most stringent COVID mandated regions in the country. Am I correct about that, Keith?
Yes. Yes. Very strict here.
Please.
We're required to wear masks all day long while in school, and both indoors and outdoors.
So if the kid is in PE in the gymnasium and he's playing basketball, he got to wear a mask. Somebody needs to. Is there a lawyer in the house? Is there a law firm in the house? Somebody needs to go after LA Unified School District, not just civilly, but legally, criminally, for child endangerment.
I think they already are. People are
Oh,
trying.
really?
The courts are just not. They're not cooperating. I mean, the courts are not doing justice. There are people trying to sue. There are people trying to sue. But the point I want to make is that they say that they want to have that discussion on Tuesday. So if people want to show up on Tuesday at Beaudry, at Beaudry, that's
I know
where.
it is. I know it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are going to have that meeting.
So show up and show out, or don't show out, but show up.
Show up if you
Be
want.
another Loudoun County.
Yeah, L.A.
You
L.A.
going,
Yeah.
Keith? Are you going?
No, I have to work.
Oh, you got an excuse.
Well, I work for the district, so I got to
Yeah,
stick with that.
and you gotta be cool too.
Yeah.
Or you'll be home.
To me, it's like Daniel in the lion's den. The lions don't bite me because the Lord is my protection. So I stand in the midst of tyranny and I can fight my battles where I need to fight. You can't, you have to choose your battles. I know where to fight and I know how to fight. That's why I'm still there. And God needs me there so that I can minister to those folks who don't have any other hope. I mean,
That's right.
if all of us move away, if we leave California, leave Los Angeles, leave our jobs, then
And go to Texas. And go to Texas.
Where's God's warriors going to fight?
Exactly.
I mean, if you leave Venice, I'm just using this example. If you leave Venice, you leave the homeless, then who's going to fight? Who's going to be there?
I know. God never left himself without a witness. That's why you're still here. That's why I'm still here.
That's right.
Let's segue here. Keith, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And if there's any more on that throughout the broadcast that you want to share with the viewers about what's happening out there with their students, feel free to step it up. Y'all remember Nora Massey, one of our contributors. She was on a while back. Talk about her son, Terrell Massey, who was incarcerated in New York. He was incarcerated at 16, got an unfair sentence. And just recently, I mean, he's been there for 16 years. He's 32 now. Recently, he fell into some kind of a coma. Come to find out that now it's brain cancer. And I spoke with Nora today, and that's looking good right now. But they're just trying to keep him as comfortable as possible. So y'all kind of be thinking about that. That's our sister's son, Terrell Massey. We started a GoFundMe for him. You can go to my Facebook and get it in other places. Terrell Massey Fund. There it is, right there. And his mama. That's Nora. So y'all kind of send out some good vibrations, or however you speak to God, or whatever you speak to. There's three ladies that are on tonight watching us here in Los Angeles. I want to mention their names real quick. That's Roxy Wilson, Denise Moses, and Jerry White. These are three women that worked with me years ago on this 14th Amendment issue in our Civil Rights Act of 1866, and they know it very, very well. And normally on Monday nights, they pray for me. They've been praying for me and for everybody else on Monday nights very faithfully. So tonight they chose that they're going to start coming here and being a part. So welcome, ladies, to the broadcast. Thank you very much. Next week, we're going to have...
Need to adjust your camera a little bit, sir.
Me? Yes. Sorry about that. How's that? There you go.
Down just a little bit.
All right. That's our engineer, y'all. He's the man behind the curtain. How's that one, sir?
A little more.
A little bit more. How's that?
Nope, down a little more.
A little bit more.
There you go.
There it is. All right. There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Next week we're going to have Shai Abishur on. He's a Jewish civil rights activist. He has an organization called Learn Love Is Real, REAL movement. And we want to know more about what's going on in the Middle East as it relates to us Black citizens, because apparently there is a faction in the Middle East who are not us, but they are claiming all of our civil rights legacies to attack particularly the Ashkenazi Jews, as well as the Sephardic and Ethiopians and all the others who are over there. But we're going to talk about that in the next episode with Shai Abishur, because we're trying to bring together the Jewish and the Blackish community once again in a very unprecedented way. So anyway, let's move on. Now, this is Ted, your power weapon on Urban Smart Network. Okay, so y'all remember to spread the word to come here. Now, this issue of Jesse Smollett, the young man who starred in the flick Empire. How many of y'all seen Empire? A little bit. I fell into it a little bit myself. Okay, but very interesting concept. Anyway, he apparently he's gay. He's a black man, and or African American or something like that. And he in Chicago 3 years ago, as you all know. He, one cold night, very cold night, he decided to, for whatever reason, get these two Nigerian brothers, black men, to fake beating him up and fake wearing a MAGA. Y'all know what MAGA is, right? Make America Great, the red hat, Donald Trump, symbol. And in Chicago, MAGA followers, right? That bold. Anyway, the point is, supposedly these guys beat him up, and they called him all kind of homophobic slurs and racial slurs. Yeah, them two cats right here, man. They're brothers apparently, and they do look rough. Though I wouldn't want to mess with them. Yeah, have you seen them other pictures where they posing with their muscles, their shirts off? Bad dudes, tough guys. But anyway, he hired these cats apparently to beat him up, and he went and told the police that some white dudes beat him up and called him racial names and mocked his sexual orientation, and a whole big thing happened. Well, guess what? He was charged 6 times on false reporting and lying to the police and detectives, and he was found guilty on 5 other charges. And the jury deliberated a total of 9 hours. I mean, the evidence was there. I mean, this is a guy who sat before the media. What was that lady's name on NBC? And gave this wonderful testimony. And when I say wonderful, it was so concise and so clear and so passionate. And come to find out, this dude. Hey, I'm gonna go to Ken White here in a minute, but engineer, can you put up that statement from Joe Biden 3 years ago? He and Kamala Harris and a lot of people, apparently in the Democratic Party, apparently, because I didn't hear much coming from the Republicans and the conservatives. Look at what Joe Biden said, y'all. Look at this. Look at what no evidence, no trial, no nothing, right? What happened today to Jesse Smollett must never be tolerated in this country. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor, that homophobia and racism have no place on our streets or in our hearts. We are with you, Jesse. I don't laugh because it's funny. I laugh because it hurts, man. That hurts. Those cut them words. The racism that happened here, that was an attack on us, on our struggle. And you would think the president, now being a leader, would come out and say, oops, got it wrong. And he could have saved his hide by saying, I was deceived by that bad boy. Here's Kamala Harris. Look at what she said. Jesse Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should ever have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate. And she's absolutely correct. She and Mr. Biden and all the rest of them who took Jesse's side, the words they said was absolutely correct, but flipped the script to where it really should be. This was one of the most racist things that could have happened to our country at this time. Hey, Unicorn, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring Unicorn back up here because he always got something sharp to say. Bring your horn in here, Unicorn. Talk to us, brother.
Hey, Justice Juicy, as some people like to call him. They like to call him
Stop
Juicy.
that. Hey, stop that.
Look, when that situation happened, now I'm reminded of something that I heard a pastor say about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He said, we are born for such a time as this, and that all the things that we have experienced in life were preparing us for such a time. Well, how ironic. As a child, my mama used to make me do the laundry, do the dishes, take the trash out, mop the floors, sweep the floors, fold the clothes. I was an only child. People thought that meant I was lucky. So here I am hauling laundry in the dead of winter to the laundromat that's 2 blocks down the road.
Okay.
Well, a child gets bored sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So on occasion, and sometimes when you spill it, but on occasion, I've been known to play with some bleach.
Uh-oh.
You try to throw bleach in Chicago in the wintertime, and you know what happens, Ted?
What?
Poof! It turns into a powder.
Really?
Yes. It does not remain in its liquid state. It turns into a powder.
I didn't
So
know
when that man said that some white boys, first of all, MAGA, I'm MAGA. We know ourselves. We know what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. We don't do that. So that was strike one. Strike two in
Hey,
Chicago.
hold on. Hey, MAGA.
What?
Why don't y'all do that as MAGAs? Because
Because we're also
y'all got a bad reputation out there. And y'all about as bad as KKK.
Hey, you know what? I put it this way: we so bad they got to lie on us. That's how good we are. You know what I'm saying? They got it. We so bad they got to lie on us just to make us look bad. But yeah, so strike one was him saying that it was MAGA, right?
Yeah.
Strike two, bleach don't stay in a liquid state and weather that cold if it becomes aerated. If it hits the air, it's over, right? And strike three, white boys might be crazy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. White boys might be crazy sometimes, but they ain't walking in on that part of Chicago with no MAGA hats on. They ain't doing it.
Hey, white boys that jump out of airplanes,
Climb mountains,
slopes, they'll go
all
to the
kind of crazy
they'll
stuff.
go to the moon.
Put it this way, and here comes the irony of it. Maybe you all recall that white lady who murdered her children, and she claimed that some brothers stole her car
Yeah, I
with the
remember
children
that.
in it, right?
I remember
Well,
that.
that's when the detectives knew something was wrong, because they're like, you know what? A brother will boost you for your money. He'll do all kind of stuff to you, but he ain't hurting no kids 9 times out of 10. We don't do that, right?
That
Same thing,
myself.
right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Juicy. Juicy said that these white boys did all of that. So
Yeah.
you can and watch this. His name is Lennox Lewis. Whenever Lennox Lewis would win a fight, because he never talked trash before the fight, he
Excuse
talked
me. Who
trash
was Lennox
after.
Lewis? Who was Lennox? Tell my
Lennox
viewers.
Lewis is a heavyweight fighter from the 80s and the 90s. Beautiful fighter, pugilist specialist is what he was. His name is Lennox Lewis out of Great Britain. He should have received the KBE, but he's a brother, and I'm scratching my head. Why he got to offer the KBE?
What's a
You know what I'm saying?
KBE? What's a KBE?
Knights of the British Empire.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So he would say at the end of the fight when he won, he'd say, "Guy test number 1." That means check me out, right? Well, check me out. Southside Unicorn, Kenneth White, on my Twitter page at Ken White 4444. 15 minutes after Juicy said that lie, you can see the tweet, I don't know, tweet, tweet. You can see it where I sent him a message. I said, Jussie, cut it out before you get people killed. You know you lying. This is wrong.
Wow.
Go ahead and recant and drop these claims before somebody gets killed.
Yeah. Get out of it while you can, dude. He's made enough mess. Get out, but he was too proud. He couldn't save his face. Hold on. Here's one from the producer, the engineer. Nancy Pelosi, y'all. Look at her. This racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is an affront to our humanity.
Wow.
No one should be no one should be attacked for who they are or whom they love. I pray that Jussie has a speedy recovery and that justice is served. May we all commit to ending this hate once and for all. You would think, and I want to go to Keith. Keith, you would think that these people recognize these words, though true, they applied it in the wrong direction. These words should be applied to themselves. Don't you think, Keith?
Yes, and not only that, but this whole thing is a lie. The man was not, as it proven, I mean, he should be prosecuted. But, hey.
He was prosecuted.
Huh?
He was prosecuted, found guilty on all 5.
Oh, yeah.
Except for 1.
That's right.
So he is prosecuted.
Yeah.
But they're saying they're going to give him, Keith, they're going to give him, folks, they say he should get 3 years according to the law, the way it's the kind of crime he's supposed to be, he's committed, get 3 years. But they're saying that he'll probably get
probation.
Probation and community service. And then somebody else jumped in and said, well, wait a minute, though, if you give him community service, he's a target. He's a celebrity. He's going to be too targeted. He can't do it. He needs to go to jail. I think if I was in the case, I think that or post this case, someone should make some legislation that anybody in the future that does this kind of a thing should get a real, like 10, 15 years. I mean, you can get 10 years for tearing down a federal statue now. So
I mean, when you consider the potential loss of life and property, I mean, this was the quintessential do the right thing type of scene where, you walk over the trash can and you throw it through the window of the pizzeria, you know? There should be some serious ramifications because it's happening all too often. We're seeing on college campuses, we're seeing, on places where young African Americans are fabricating racist attacks. You talk about the boy who cried wolf. This is some dangerous stuff because it actually lends fire to the true racists because they're going to say sooner or later, why are you guys listening to them? I'm not racist. You know I didn't do it. They did it.
That is very serious because I don't know. I think a lot of white folks or non-black people aren't going to say nothing publicly, but
Mm-hmm.
I think privately, folks are talking. I know if it was reversed, I'd be talking.
Oh yeah.
So that's why and back to Keith again. The whole question is, what do you think is the effect of this case on our legacy? We're still struggling to get white folks who run the country, pretty much, obviously, to understand us. Keith, what do you?
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, I don't think that this affects a lot of people, a lot of black. It's certainly not a stain on blackness on the African American community or black community, in my view. I have nothing to do with this guy. I don't even know much about the story, unless the media talks about it. But to me, it's insignificant. That story isn't really insignificant. So I don't think that it creates a whole lot of negativism to the black community, and that's just my opinion.
Sure. The unfortunately, the way life seems to work, if someone of a class or a group does something, humanity tends to broad brush the whole group, the whole collective, the whole body.
Yep.
And that goes for almost everything. If a Muslim tears something up, some crazy Muslim do something bad, all the Muslims get labeled with that. All the Jews get labeled with that. All the white people, all the black. It's unfair. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And I just think that he should have to do some real time. They need to change the laws when it comes to this kind of a thing because my view of it, he hurt us. He and all,
did.
and Ken, you were talking. The thing about this one. I mean, we've heard about the other cases too, and white people do the same thing too, right? But this one was so huge because of his celebrity status
And those who endorsed him,
and
just like
those
you
who
showed.
endorsed him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the major celebrities in Hollywood, they were all ready to go out here and find some white boys with some mega hats on and lynch them.
Pretty much.
I wonder if the engineer can put up a photo of a real lynching. Most people in this country don't know what a lynching is. They've not seen no real pictures of lynching. They don't have no idea what a lynching is. Now, if you disagree with somebody over a racial issue, or if a black person gets arrested or whatever, that's a lynching. That's what they're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Everything is a lynching now. Like everything is racism. Everything is racism. You can't. There you go. There's a lynching right there. Y'all see that? That's a lynching, folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
a
that's what
real
you're right.
lynching.
They're too cavalier with the use of the word because it gets them so much mileage. They are stone cold busted. All three of those statements that you showed directed right to Justice Smollett's Twitter page, which again makes it go viral because the man's got over 1 million followers because of the Empire affiliation. Um, when like Oprah Winfrey, she uses the word lynching and all of that. Um, I just want to say to my brother Keith, when I was a cop in the academy, they always taught us they're not going to remember you for the baby that you saved. They're not going to remember you for the old lady you walked across the street. The only thing they're going to remember is the first dirty cop that ends up being arrested or whatever. And now we're all bad people. Same way with our soldiers coming back from Vietnam. You get on the news because that's the way the left wants to portray it. One soldier doing something bad, and a young man coming back through the San Francisco airport gets spit on. Well, this skin, this beautiful skin I'm wrapped in, that's my uniform. and you guys are wrapped similarly in the same uniform. If we don't put an end to the abuse, misuse, and misportrayal of true lynchings, of true racism, of slandering, because you have to, here's the sad part about it, you have to slander the white community in order to give racism its legitimacy. That's going to wear thin sooner or later.
Like the boy who cried wolf, right?
Exactly.
People gonna get tired. And I'm not giving nobody no suggestions here, but it would strike me that if someone keeps accusing me of something that I have not done, I may as well go on and do it. And I'm really concerned that some of them real white supremacist racists out there is lurking in the dark or feeling the Cheerios. And they just may start getting busy out here, because if a black man say, hey, I was walking down the road the other day, minding my business, and some white dudes came along and took some shots at me, you know, or grabbed me and beat me, oh, you lying, man. That's a Smollett case, dude. We don't believe you.
That's what it'll create. Now, I don't mean to take us away from where we're at. I just want to holler at my brother Keith right quick. Keith, are you there?
Yeah.
Is that a gi you wearing, brother? Is that a gi?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Explain.
Well, before the show, I was in training. I mean, my practice.
You weren't training. It says instructor on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, instructor.
My brother wearing a gi with the word instructor on it. That reminds me of Jim Brown in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I'm an instructor, but I still train, brother. I still got to train.
There it is. I just wanted to point that out. That's
yeah. I teach. I learn how to train people by training.
There it is. So if you found yourself in an alley with some cats and a bottle of bleach, I figure they might be in a little trouble, huh?
I hope so. Looks like both of us would. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something, folks. The last thing, you can talk about my mama, you can talk about my daddy, you can call me names, you can say all kind of stuff to me, but don't scare me. Don't scare me.
There it is.
I'm no longer responsible for myself. Someone run up on me in the dark like that, they wish they hadn't.
I want to ask a question while it's on my mind. They got Jussie 5 out of 6, right?
Yes.
But just like the Wayans brothers in their sitcom Living Colors, these are brothers who are brothers. What happened to the brothers who are brothers? Did they get some?
I don't know.
Huh. I'm gonna look into it and see. You would think that they shouldn't. And I love throwing these words so that the young people who listen to us can learn a new word every now and then. They should not escape calumny.
Oh, what is calumny, teacher?
Punishment.
Oh,
put it this way. It's one of those beautiful words, huh?
Why did you say punishment?
Punishment. It's one of those beautiful words that Shakespeare managed to slip into Hamlet. You know what I'm saying? The man used to make word souffle. And so, every now and then I know the young people are watching us, especially, here on Urban Smart Network. And so every now and then I just like to slip in a word, calumny.
Well, listen,
not escape calumny.
Listen, OG, I want to ask you something, because we OGs on this channel here, and I used to be trying to hide this stuff that you see, because I want to still be so-called young.
Mine's chasing you down.
hey, I'll wait for you. I'll slow down, okay? But we the OGs, and we have a duty and a responsibility to be exactly what we are. Stop trying to hide our wisdom and our experience. And I like what you did here, because you began to address the young folks, and you began to educate them on that English thing about Shakespeare. But now some of the younger, or some of the more ignorant brothers don't know no better, but they're going to learn by coming to Urban Smart Network and coming to Your Power Weapon, that they say, well, you talk like you white. They call that white language. They say you talk like a white person. Why? Because you speak good English. You know those words, and we got to break them out of that. It doesn't matter where you at in this country. You have got to learn to speak proper English. You may not like it, but you got to learn to do it if you're going to make it. You got to understand whether you like United States or not. According to the Constitution of the United States, if you are a citizen, you are you are a black citizen in the United States, whether you like
Mm-hmm.
it or not. And you got to learn these things, because if you don't learn these things, young cats, young G's, you're not going to be able to deal with the power structure that you're always complaining about.
And here comes the sticky wicket of the entire thing.
Oh,
With all
now,
due
whoa,
respect,
stop. You, you
near my
say
words,
what you
brother.
gotta say, what you gonna say, but come back to that sticky wicked stuff. All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, ready? I'm trying. Smoke is telling me that my camera's moving, and that's because it's kind of handheld. But here's what's going on. I almost became a product of the public education system of Chicago, Illinois, in Inglewood. The community of Inglewood, right, in the '60s and the '70s. That was when their trickery play was in full bore. The worst thing you can do to somebody, right? And I guess I can only say this, but I won't go too long about it. But you have somebody working, and you're making them thinking they're making $10 an hour, but because they're uneducated, because they're ignorant, and ignorance is not a bad word, it is just what it is. They
Right,
didn't understand what a decimal point was, so they were
right.
really working for $1 an
Wow,
hour.
wow.
That's what's happening to our young people now. They don't want them to know how to balance a checkbook because they don't want them having a damn bank account. They don't want them knowing how to navigate even the basics of science, because then you might want to get into agriculture, this and that and the other thing. We do have some blacks who manage to get educated, but I don't think those were educated brothers running up inside Macy's the other night in the throngs of 30 or 40. I've been saying it forever. We have more young black people who are being disenfranchised from their future because of a leftist Democrat ideal of what you said, Ted. They're not educating our children properly. What you said, my brother Keith, they're telling you we're gonna put the pandemic on hold right now. We're gonna vote on this in September. Hold up, partner. We want this whole damn thing gone. I don't want to see it no more. But you're gonna tell me now I gotta deal with it again in September. You know what I'm saying? What's that song? I'll be gone until September from Wyclef Jean. You know what I'm saying? I was hot when Keith said that. It made me mad as hell. I'm like, hold up for a minute. So now I'm gonna do my Bill Cosby. You trying to tell me, Camille? You know what I mean? That we gonna wait till September. Oh hell no.
Do
Get
you
this thorn out of
remember?
my side now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. What was I gonna say? You lost my train of thought there. Oh,
Yeah,
education, education,
education.
education. Yeah. It's funny because now they're saying that math, learning good math, makes you a racist.
See, that right there.
Hey, here we go. Here we go. Bernie Sanders, one of the stars here. He said, Bernie Sanders, Senator Bernie Sanders ran for president. Y'all, you know that, right? The racist and homophobic attack on Jesse Smollett is a horrific instance of the surging hostility toward minorities around the country. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. All you got to do is flip that right back there around on them. Jesse Smollett hurt even the homosexual community by what he
Hmm.
did. He hurt them as well, and he hurt everybody. And what's really sad though is these people like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Bernie Sanders, and all the rest of the celebrities, how they're continuing to perpetrate this fraud about this fella and make him look like he is the victim when all of us are the victim. And I'm just wondering, and if anybody out there got any answers, I mean, feel free to contact me, ted@tedhayes.us, and share your viewpoints. But I'm just wondering, where's all the African American leadership? Where, in fact, where are the conservatives? You would think that by now, black Republicans and black conservatives at least would have come out and made some kind of a joint statement. I see
Right.
bits and pieces here and there, but I see no unity. It's like this smaller thing is going to hit, do its thing, gone, and that's it. See, like my Jewish brother say, never forget. Never forget how it happened. Never forget to not let this happen again. So where are they at? Y'all, anybody got any ideas? Why haven't the African American leaders spoke up about this thing? Why hasn't the gay community spoke up about this thing as a unit?
You know, I was going over the scriptures, and I'm going to bring that into the discussion. And
Absolutely.
in Second Thessalonians, it talks about, well, let me start with Matthew. Jesus talked about in Matthew 24 that in these last days that, lawlessness will increase. Lawlessness is a synonymous word with the word sin, sinfulness, wickedness, lawlessness. They all sort of synonymously work together. So people are sinners. I mean, all of us have sinned. We all sin. And even those who are enlightened by Christ, we still have to deal with our fleshly members, our body, and our emotions. So until we get those under wrap, we get those in control, we're going to be doing, following other desires. And so I think that the Black community and others as well, not just the Black community, but I'm going to, since your question, we focus on the Black community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Black community, Blacks, for the most part, we tend to be emotional. I mean, you said that yourself, Ted. We tend to be emotional, and we let our emotions drive us instead of the spirit of truth. So that's why we have such a difficult time receiving truth. We're driven by the flesh and not by the spirit.
You know, folks, everything has you look at a tree, you see the branches, the leaves, and fruit. You get this guy's kids, y'all see the tree, branch, fruit. And then you follow it in towards the center, it goes into a trunk. Then that trunk of the tree goes to the ground, and all of a sudden the tree disappears. But it's not gone, it's still there. Why? Because underneath, the root is even greater than what you see on top. The root was there, right? When you look at a pretty building, you say, oh, that beautiful building, but you don't see the foundation. But when you look at Black people today, yes, we are generally an emotionally responsive type of people, reactionary people, contradictory people, very confused people. We don't even know who we are, right? And our literacy level, apparently, according to educators that I've talked with, apparently our literacy level is about a fourth grade in general, about a fourth grade literacy level. And you can also look at the people who are college literate, university literate. While they can read, they somehow don't seem to be able to comprehend what they read. Well, there's a root to that tree. There's a root to that house, to that beautiful, big old building. The root is this. For 245 years, little G's, white people, non-Black folks, for 245 years in this country, the people that we call American Africans, now we are the U.S. citizens, our ancestors for 245 years were owned by other people. They had absolute control of our bodies, of our soul, of our minds, because we couldn't think. We weren't allowed to think, because if you think too much, you might say something at the wrong place in the wrong time. And God knows you don't want to say something to a white man. And God knows you didn't want to even bother to lift your head up and look into the blue eyes of a white man, because if you looked into the blue eyes of a white man, that was your death sentence. So you practiced being stupid. And then when we were set free from slavery in 1865, Juneteenth, 1865, and then in 1866, when they gave us the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery except in prison, and they gave us the 15th Amendment, which empowered the vote, and they gave us that all-powerful 14th Amendment, Civil Rights Act of 1866. When that law was created for us, y'all, 99% of the freed slaves and freedmen being non-slave American Africans, 99% of us did not know how to read. Did not know how to read. And this went on up until 19 and I think I said this in a previous episode that after slavery, when we tried to learn to read, and when white cats and girls would come down from the north, Republicans they were, to teach us to read, the Democrats and the KKK would lynch them, literally would put ropes around these white people's necks and hang them like you hang a Black person. So and they burned down our schools, and then in came Jim Crow, which separated the school systems, which kept us in darkness. I told you last week I was in two black segregated schools, so I know the experience. And then in 1954, of course, Brown versus Board of Education came. We learned to read a little bit, but we don't really focus on it because of this heritage, this root that's in us. And we mock ourselves when we say, you want to hide something from black folks? Yeah, how would you do it? Write it down, put it in a book, tuck it away in the Constitution. And that has been, unfortunately, true. But now, folks, welcome to your power weapon, because what we're talking about is your power. See, here on Urban Smart Network, how now that I have a reason to use my fourth grade literacy, you're telling me that there's power in that there Constitution for me? There's power? Yes, little brother, there's a lot of power. So much power, if enough of you get together into an organized body politic, y'all can put the president of the United States in jail by the power of the military, because that's an Emancipation Proclamation. Is that right? How about, hey, brother, here, read.
That's
And
right.
see, this is what I'm trying to get going as a campaign, folks, where we get everybody in the country to understand this power weapon.
That's right. And you know, real quick, the reason we're missing it, like Keith was alluding to, that blacks are emotional. We are emotional. We're so emotional to the point we're not going to give up Barack Hussein Obama or Michelle Obama, who actually embraced Jussie Smollett. And my question to Barack Hussein Obama tonight is this: is Jussie Smollett still somebody who could be your son?
That's a good one. That's a
I like that.
that's why they call you the unicorn. You be
That's
Why
poking,
they call
man.
me the
Smart.
unicorn?
He's a wise man.
you be sticking people. Hey, hold up, y'all. Hold up. The Smoke put up something here we need to read. This is Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters on dropped Smollett charges. No one was hurt
Oh my
except
God.
for all the MAGA folks that would have been harassed, assaulted, or otherwise affected if the hoax worked, and the corrupt politicians who were behind it and are now free to do better with their next anti-MAGA scam. This person who said that, that's exactly correct. Maxine was saying, nobody was hurt. You want to bet? Just
Oh
think,
my goodness.
had this thing stood, it would have been a mess up out here. And hey, what about that lady? I don't know if Smoke got a picture of her or not. She has the nicest face, but she dropped the charges on Jussie Smollett right away when he was when this all came out, and now apparently
You
they're
talking about
calling for
the
her.
district attorney of
The district
Chicago?
attorney, yeah, what's her name?
Um,
I had it here
I'm
a
trying
few
to
minutes.
remember too right now.
Fox, Vivica
Fox. Yeah.
Fox, I think is her name, and she dropped the charges based on skin color, scam to get at Donald Trump and the mega hat people and so forth and so on, and she let that cat walk. But unfortunately, it's coming back to bite her now because apparently people calling for her resignation. What do you think about that? There she is. She's such a cute lady, such a nice face. I mean, look at
Hmm.
that beautiful face, man. You wouldn't think for a minute that there is any kind of a corrupt or denigrating, disgusting, unjustified thought in that woman's mind.
But there is.
But it
And
is.
you know, her and her twin, which is Ariana Presley, who's a congresswoman. She's part of the notorious four horsewomen of the apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Ariana Presley, like I say, it's got to be awfully exhausting to be that pissed off all the time. This
Yeah.
is what happens when you end up with a socialist, Marxist, racist, Democrat education from Detroit or Chicago or what have you. These young women are on automatic pilot. You don't need the KKK anymore because you got them.
Folks, have you noticed, folks, viewers, and young people, you guys have never really seen KKK rallies. These cats dress up in white sheets with cones on their heads, and they were Democrats. Check
Yep.
your history; they were Democrats, and they were created specifically to make sure that you do not know about this 14th Amendment power that's in the Constitution to you. That's why they attacked us.
Keep you
But
trying to buy gym shoes and trying to get the next PlayStation 4 and keep
yeah,
a 40 ounce in your hand. As long as
yeah,
that's going on, you're ineffective.
yeah. And if you notice, young brothers and sisters out there, the KKK don't do rallies no more.
Don't
See,
need to.
they don't need to. See, they know if a KKK renegade, couple renegades decide to throw a rally in downtown LA, you know who will beat their butts first? Fellow KKK members. Why? Because by putting on that sheet, you'll unite all these people against us. So that's why they don't use the sheet, because they see now 7,500 young black men every year die by gunfire from the hands of young black men. So they say, you know what? We ain't never killed this many niggas before.
Thank you.
Leave them alone. But you
Yep.
know what though? This socialist thing, when it's a baby, it's cute, like a little puppy. Little cute little puppy. Like a cancer. It's a little teeny thing. And that's where we are about right now in America. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. Kids, go look up Stalin. Go look up Mao. What's that cat's name up there? Kim Jong-il and
Kim
his
Jong
family.
Un.
The whole family. Wherever
Look up Pol Pot. Why
I
they
read
have it.
Pol Pot, wherever the socialists came in, followed by communist Marxism, people like you became slaves and were murdered and were eliminated. You know, Nazi means the German National Socialist Party. That's what Nazi means, German National Socialist Party.
Yeah.
See, that's why what you see going on in America today, that's where it's coming from. See, Democrats ain't that smart. Democrats were stupid. That's why the socialists showed them, but he's going to show you how to do it right. See, back in the 1930s, the American Communist Party said, we are going to take America down at some point, and we're going to do it. They called us then the Negroes. We're going to play on the fact that they were slaves. We're going to play on the fact that they're being Jim Crowed. We're going to play on the fact that they're angry, that they're mad. We're going to play on the fact that they're ignorant and illiterate. And they said, what we will do, it's all written up. What we will do is we'll go to meetings, but don't go there preaching socialism. Go there to be a supporter. Go to marches, hold up signs, and they're going to ask you, hey, white guy, what are you doing here? Why are you helping us? That's when you begin to, and that's what happened to Martin Luther King, folks. That's what happened to Martin Luther King. Why do you think we ended up with welfare for the next generation? Look at the consequences of socialist welfare in America on black folks. You got young black men walking around with their pants sagging off their ass, man. We're the number one in homelessness, the number one in homicide, the number one in prison sentences, the number one in abortion, the number one in every negative social statistic in this country, and we're only 11% of the population. Somebody's after our ass, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say what's wrong with black folks, that's why we the way we are. And that's why here at your power weapon, we are educating you to this power so that you can become the person that President Andrew Johnson, who took the place of assassinated Abraham Lincoln by the Democrats, when he read the bill for the 14th Amendment and the Civil Rights Act of 1866, he said, I'm going to veto this. And when you read the document, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when you read the document, the 10 sections, you will understand why Andrew Johnson, the head of the Democratic Party, said, I'm not going to let this law pass because it gives too much power to black people over white people in this country. I'm not going to have it.
Yeah, that's why they want us focusing on the 3/5 clause, because if you're looking like they said, the emotions, if you and this is where I'm going to defer to Keith in a moment, but they want us looking at the negatives, or what are perceived as negatives, and none of the positives. And I'm gonna say it here on the show. This feels like deja vu to me, guys. When you were saying what you were saying, Ted, we did this before. It's part of a dream the
You
Lord
feel
showed
that
me
energy?
6 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And from it, and I'm going to speak it because any one of us can go ahead and do it now. But there needs to be a T-shirt made. I guess I'll do it.
Uh-oh.
Just a jet black T-shirt, and on
Okay.
it is 13%. The equation 13%, because that's the thing that has gotten me so confused over the last 50 years. It only takes 10 years or 14 years to create a new generation. It's supposed to be every 20 years. But as fast as we reproduce, and when you consider teen pregnancy, the whole 9 yards, a new generation of people can be produced every 15 years. Well, when you consider we've been reproducing up until the point that Master couldn't make no money off of us. When he could make money off of us, we were reproducing like crazy because they needed them strong backs. But now that we're no longer under the gun of the leftist evil Democrats, our ability to reproduce has been attacked by every possible angle imaginable. How
With
is it
abortion.
possible to be nourished, remain in a country that actually, no matter what we want to say about ourselves, we don't really have a giant food desert in America. There's food, there's nourishment here in this country. Childbirthing, we don't lose people in childbirthing anymore unless it's an abortion. But so here's my question. How is it that we are steady at 13%? That's like treading water. If it was a human
13%
being,
population. Oh, you said 13 of the
we are
percent of the
we
human
are just
population.
marginally 13%.
I
We're
heard 11.
13% of the nation, but we're 82% of all of its crime.
I heard actually we're 11% of the population.
11, so it's going down.
Oh yeah.
It's going
Keith,
down.
Keith,
How is that
Keith,
possible?
Keith. Last we got 3 minutes here, gentlemen. Keith, you want to chime in on that?
Well, more crime is committed, crimes of murder and so forth, and violent crime is done more in black communities, among black people, blacks on blacks.
Right.
And so that's part of what's eliminating us. Plus the idea that abortions are committed against blacks more than anybody else. So those two, just
Well,
those.
they say black people should wear condoms, man. Black people should take birth control, man. What you talking
Black
about?
people
Go
should
ahead.
abstain from fornication. We need to learn to control our bodies. But yeah, there are plenty of prophylactics up there, plenty of contraceptives, rather. Plenty of
You know
that.
what? You know what? We're gonna have to talk about this. We're gonna have to make this a whole show, y'all, because
Yeah.
I got some thoughts on that one that gonna rock the world in a minute here. Because the question is, if all that stuff is true about black folks and their sexual promiscuity, my question is, why is it that way? Why is it that so many young black men kill each other way beyond the proportion of white people to white people, Asians to Asians, or Mexicans to Mexicans? What is that mystery? And we're going to talk about that coming up. Last word, Keith, Ken, then Keith, then we're going to run out of here. Go ahead, Keith.
I pretty
Go ahead,
much
finish up.
said my piece. I mean, we need to reform the communities.
I
We
agree.
talk about police reform. We need we need reform in our community.
Renaissance.
That's what we need.
Keith, I want you to go to all them preachers and you tell them preachers they need to start teaching the people, feeding the people the sheep instead of fleecing the sheep. All right? That's where
There
it
it is.
begins, right there. But preacher, Ken, come on, brother. The unicorn,
Here's
what's
what I'm
up?
going to say, and this is directed to the young people. They say that my people are destroyed, and Keith will pull me right on this one. We are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Well, young people, you're not going to be able to say that there weren't wise old men trying to help you learn a better way in a better direction. This video is going to last forever because it's part of the internet, the World Wide Web now. I pray and hope that you young people can get your hands on this stuff that Ted is putting out. Ted Hayes has a vision, and we need to get in behind it because it's good stuff.
It's our vision. God, y'all gonna find out shortly. It's in your hearts, every single one of you. Hold on. Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris, Democrat, California, on her tweet saying the Jesse Smollett case was an attempted modern day lynching. Which tweet? What tweet? Laughs. Okay. So I will say this about that case. I think the facts are still unfolding, and
What?
I'm very concerned.
Ooh,
Hold up. That's not
she's
right.
not real. She can't
We
be
shouldn't
real.
laugh. We shouldn't laugh. We should not laugh. That is not funny. That's very painful. And this lady is the second most powerful person on the planet Earth right now. You know, the Lord said, Keith brings up the scriptures, and I'm going to bring up this last one as we close out. He said, know thou, O man, that the Most High rules in the governments of men and gives them to whomsoever he will, even the worst of them. Daniel 4:17. Hey, this is Ted, Keith, Ken, the KK. Okay? On your power. Come on, help me, Ken, Keith.
Network.
Weapon. Pooyah! See y'all next time.
All right.